8 Historical Discoveries of America. Columbus discovered America on October 12, 1492. This myth used to be taken at face value. These days, everyone knows he wasn't the first. But who was? Let's take a trip back in time. 8. Columbus, 1492. Columbus was actually trying to reach Japan, but he miscalculated the distance. His ship set sail without enough supplies to reach Asia. Fortunately for him, he hit the Americas. Thinking he'd found the East Indies, Columbus called the locals Indians. In 1507, the continent was named America after Amerigo Vespucci. He was the first to realize that Columbus had made a mistake. 7. Polynesians, 1200. The Polynesians were a seafaring race. They set out from Taiwan around 2500 BC. Their voyages led them to settle half the Pacific Islands. They did not settle America. However, they definitely visited South America. This is evident in the DNA of Eastern Polynesians. They also brought American sweet potatoes to Polynesia. 6. Leif Erikson, 1020. Leif Erikson was a legendary Viking explorer. He set out from Greenland to seek new lands. He'd established a settlement in Newfoundland, Canada. The Norsemen struggled with the harsh climate. Ultimately, they were forced out by hostile Native Americans. The settlement is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 5. Inuit, 900. Just before the Vikings, the Inuit people traveled from Siberia to Alaska. They sailed in skin boats. The Inuit were well adapted to the cold Arctic Ocean. They skirted its shores all the way to Greenland. Curiously, their DNA is closest to native Alaskans. This means their ancestors colonized Asia from Alaska, then went back to rediscover the Americas again. 4. Eskimo Aleut, 2000 to 2500 BC. The Eskimo Aleut tribes were ancestors of the Inuit. They spoke distinct languages, different from other Native American languages. The Eskimo Aleut was a distinct migration. They came across the Bering Sea from present-day Russia to Alaska. The Eskimo Aleut people displaced earlier migrants, the Nodine people. 3. Nodine, 3000 to 8000 BC. The Nodine also crossed the Bering Sea to Alaska, but DNA studies show they were not related to the Eskimo Aleut. Instead, the Nodine were ancestors to other Native Americans, the Navajo, Dene, Tlingit, and Apache people. These people still speak Nodine languages. They are closest to languages spoken in Siberia, so it was another distinct migration. 2. Clovis, 11,000 BC. Up until the 1970s, the Clovis peoples were considered the oldest. They get their name from a settlement discovered near Clovis, New Mexico. These people were the ancestors of 80% of all Native Americans, from Sioux, Comanche, Iroquois, and Cherokee to Aztec, Maya, Quechua, and Yanomami. But newer findings make even the Clovis culture look like a newcomer. 1. Pre-Clovis, 18,000 BC. In 2011, archaeologists excavated a site in Texas. They identified the existence of an occupation older than Clovis. Projectile spear points, blades, choppers, and other stone tools were found. They were made from a local church. They were dated back to as early as 15,000 years ago. Where did these people come from? The classic theory is the Bering Land Bridge between Siberia and Alaska. Stone Age hunters could easily cross it into America. Another theory says the first humans arrived by boat. They would have traveled down the Pacific shore. We may never know the final truth, but Columbus certainly didn't discover America.